riding down Highway 61. Sides of the roads all lined with fields, nothing but sunset in the windshield. Feel it as soon as I ride into town. This is where I go to slow down. Miles and miles of soybeans and corn. I'm in the place where the blues was born. About a mile from the big muddy river, place I'll always remember. Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. Forever here I'll rest my soul. I can feel my worries drift away from being out in the sun all day. No matter where in the world I go, I'll always find home on the banks of that oxbow.
Hey guys, Brad Chappell back. We got a little special guest and a really cool show today that I'm been really excited about, and I know both of these guys are really excited about. So I'm gonna let you kind of introduce yourselves and tell us what you do and where you're from and stuff. Kent?
So I'm Kent Driscoll. I manage the pro staff for B&M.
Long time.
Yeah, I've been doing it about 20 years, and I live in Nolensville, Tennessee, which is just outside of Nashville. And excited to be down here at the Crappie Compound this weekend,
Yeah.
man. Big weekend. We're doing a Sore Lip 'em all giveaway, and what that is, we put together a promotion at Grizzly Jig this year, and every customer that came through Grizzly Jig and bought a B&M pole, which is one of the sponsors, 5 crappie magnet products, a cornfield crappie mount, and hook and bullet sunglasses, got a chance in our name in the drawing to be drawn to come down and fish this weekend for 2 days.
Yeah.
All expenses paid, meals, lodging, guide, the whole 9 yards. And then of course we invite a bunch of friends like you guys, and a bunch of our other B&M pro staff guys and crappie magnet pro staff guys are here this weekend, and we're just having a big time, man, having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could come with Crappie Connection.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm really excited about this Crappie Forever partnership that we're starting.
Yep.
And good to finally meet Daniel in person and his partner Gabe. So we're looking forward to a great partnership.
Yeah, Daniel, go ahead and do your introduction, and we'll kick off what we're going to talk about.
I'm Daniel White with Crappie Forever, and thanks Kent, B&M, Crappie Magnet, Cornfield, and everybody having us here this weekend. It's a great time, and we have a new partnership. I think we announced 3, 4, or 5 weeks ago. B&M, Cornfield, and Crappie Magnet have decided to sponsor our tagging program, which is a huge help and just a game changer. It is. And so that allowed us to buy a lot more tags, pay out a lot more reward, and really expand this tagging program. And without them, we just couldn't do it.
You know, it's something that that you guys, I want to kind of go back to the roots of Crappie Forever and kind of your mindset, and give a little history for somebody that hasn't heard of Crappie Forever yet, and kind of give the starting grounds, and then we'll progress to where we are today and where we want to go in the future, because that's what the name of Crappie Forever really is about, the future. But
it is about the future, and me and Gabe started it a couple of years ago as an apparel company to raise money to help promote crappie management, basically. Trophy crappie management, keeping the small ones, releasing the big ones, whatever that means on your lake. It's morphed into habitat programs and basically just helping the crappie community as a nonprofit voice for people, and place to, hopefully one day send money and we can put it out and a platform to help the community.
it's kind of a mindset, isn't it?
It is a mindset, yeah. It is about forever. It is about my kids and grandkids and your sons and just this. we can't take it for granted. Okay, now
Right.
we all know that crappie reproduce very well, but in the small reservoirs and even in some of the larger ones, live scope has put a pretty good hurting on the keeper
And we'll
or
continue to do that.
trophy fish, and we'll continue to do that. That's right. What's going to happen in 10 years, 20 years? These are the conversations we need to be having now and in the future, and we're trying to provide a platform for that conversation to go on.
And it goes back to, some of the lakes that's been hurt, and, we don't want our fisheries to decline, and we want them to stay protected for our future generations. And you look at the sport of bass fishing, those guys, they kind of opened the door to management forest fisheries.
Absolutely.
Ray Scott years ago, I know that that is a legend in the bass fishing world. And, our future has to start at tables like this and
Absolutely.
different
Absolutely.
organizations and different efforts to keep the mindset of, hey, we've got to protect these species, our crappie. We've got to protect the future of them. And kind of tell about the tagging program, and both of you can kind of weigh in and what it's really standing for and where it's going.
Yeah, I think, first of all, it's a great idea. And, Gabe and Daniel came up with it, and it's a total grassroots kind of thing. I mean, this thing is in its infancy stages right now. And again, for me, when I heard about it, I was automatically interested. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been in, the crappie fishing industry now for, roughly 30, 35 years.
Yeah.
Just fishing tournaments and kind of coming up through, different steps and different levels, now managing pro staffs and, sponsorships and tournaments and everything. And now you have live scope. And the thing about crappie fishing is it's a fun sport. They are very, very good to eat. They're great table fare. And I love to eat them.
Me too.
Okay. I mean,
And you should. Absolutely. I love to eat them too.
absolutely,
Yep.
it is absolutely 100% my favorite fish to eat.
Yeah.
Hands
And,
down.
and we, I've got tons of different recipes and stuff, and I like to eat them different ways. And the flip side of that too is, when I heard about Crappie Forever, I was like, wow, these guys, I think they got a great idea. I want to learn more. Started researching it, started reaching out, and finding out about the program, and finally just reached out to Daniel and Gabe and said, hey, are you guys doing anything with any corporate type sponsorships?
Right.
Is there anybody that's kind of stepped up and to help you guys from a financial standpoint, and create this buzz and get it off the ground? And they didn't have any corporate sponsors yet, so we got together when with Crappie Magnet and Cornfield, and we're all friends and we all work together within the community and said, hey, we want to be a part of this, okay, and and put some money into it, and and get more tags and get more guns and tag more fish, and also provide rewards to other people that catch these fish and release them. And we are not the pioneers of this at all. I mean, there's been some guys like Patrick Stone and yourself, Brad, and I know Hayden Jeffries, and who else? I mean, there's some other guys that kind of started tagging fish, a year ago, probably?
Yeah, Grenade Lake Charters. I know those guys were doing it as well.
Yeah, so there's been, a lot of individual groups doing it.
Right.
And we just thought from a corporate perspective, if we could become a part of this and sponsor these guys and just help get it off the ground and drive awareness, help protect these, some of these bigger crappie. I am concerned about, some of these fish getting caught out of these lakes, especially these bigger fish. It does allow you to target them with live scope.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so forth. And I've seen some lakes, get hurt. Lake Washington, I know it's near and dear to your heart. You've got a place down there. You guide down there. You have, property down there.
Yeah.
And, that fishery got overfished. We all know that. And so that, I just don't want to see, that happen to some of these bigger lakes down here. Because, I mean, I went to school at Ole Miss back in the 80s and mid 80s, and that's when I got introduced to fishing down here. And back then at Sardis, there was not a lot of big crappie. I mean, there was not a whole lot of pound and a half crappie. A pound and a half crappie, okay?
Wow.
A lot of pound crappie, but a pound and a half and bigger. And, I watched and I got to give the Mississippi, Wildlife, Federation, I got to give those guys some credit because, or Wildlife Department, they came up with that 11-inch rule, and then they came up with the 12-inch rule, and then they went to all the big 4. And that gave those fish another year to grow. And those fish became these 13 and 14 and 15-inch fish in lots of numbers of them. So I saw that management practice work. That was cool. Right. And I'm not saying we're biologists, and these guys don't claim to be biologists.
No, we do not.
This is, again, it's a grassroots thing that we're trying to do here and get it off the ground. But I just feel like if we release some of these bigger fish, that it, and people get this mindset, there's fish that have been caught how many times now? There's been a couple fish that have been caught like 3 times.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And released again. And that's cool, man.
It is.
I mean, I've caught enough big ones myself, over the years in the 3-pound plus range that, I've had a great experience. And I would just love to see someone that's never caught one that size have that opportunity. And especially the younger generation.
What's neat for me,
these kids and stuff.
When I get to take people fishing, and then they've watched enough of my social media, and then they follow me on Facebook and Crappie Connection and stuff, and they get in the boat and they say, I hope we get the tag one today.
Yeah.
And it's created, even on the guidance side of things, for me, a new excitement for people when they come fishing with me,
right,
for the chance to possibly catch one I've tagged before, because they're out there, but also get to tag them themselves and release a fish. And I've had a lot of clients that just, hey, I hope we catch one today. And, some of them's got to do that. And
right. And I've heard several of the guides, say that they're doing catch and release programs now too, where they're just going for trophy fish and they're catching them and releasing without even tagging them.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's pretty exciting to hear about, people doing that too. And I think the seasoned anglers, we all see the potential of what could happen with the live scope situation on these big fish, and we're just a little bit concerned, I guess.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely a thought of mine. Is I want them to be around forever, just as the name says.
Absolutely, and I want our lakes to be full of big fish.
Right. Not
just full of fish. So I have some older nephews, and they like to bass fish, and I've taken them crappie fishing, and they're starting to get interested. But if I can take them and let them catch a 2.5 pounder, 2.5, 3.5 pound, then their interest peaks up. That's how you grow the sport. If we're out there catching 9-inch fish all day,
no big deal.
To them, it's not quite the same as catching like a 5-pound bass or whatever.
Right.
So I think bigger fish in our lakes is going to help grow the sport. Period.
I definitely
really
see that.
And we have gotten a lot of feedback, just like you were saying, from guides who are tagging. Their customers love it. It is, they're out there hunting for that big fish, so they can put a tag in it and be on the video. And
it's like,
so it is a cool thing.
Some of the people that have tagged fish with me, and I say, hey, you always can remember tag 168 is the fish that you caught, and it helps even them to keep up to my page now because they're looking to see if that fish gets caught again. But what happens when somebody catches a fish? I know my buddy John Lee, they caught a tag fish, seemed like a week or two ago at Enid.
That's right.
That was just recently tagged, and John even told me afterwards how exciting his client was that he got to catch a tagged fish from another guide. But what happens? What did that guy get after getting that tagged fish caught?
I think that guy got $25.
Mm-hmm.
And I think recently somebody got $50. And then we've had hats and T-shirts, and if they're really big, they'll get up to $100. So if you catch a tagged fish, you weigh it, get the length on it, and give us the tag number and video the release. Very important.
Yep.
The release needs to be videoed, and it needs to be released when you caught it. Don't ride around with it all day. Well, of course we might not be able to tell that or whatever, but try to get it back in the water as soon as you can. Give this fish all the chance in the world to live. And then the size that it was when you caught it and the size that it was when it was tagged, we'll figure out where you are in the range of money-wise. But
and don't you guys have that on the website?
It's on the website. All the rules are on the website.
What's the
and it
website,
breaks
just
down.
in case?
CrappieForever.com.
Okay.
Really easy.
Yeah.
You can Google Crappie Forever. We'll be the first thing that pops up. We're the only Crappie Forever out there, so
Right.
that's good.
How neat is that, though? I mean, you know,
Oh, yeah.
so you take a customer and he catches a tagged fish. You measure it, weigh it, video release it, get the tag number off, okay, and take the video, send it to these guys, and then these guys go get on the website, look up that tag number.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they say, hey,
Yeah.
that fish was caught on this date before, and here's the date, and here's how much it weighed, and, you know, here's the length it was. So, you know, if a fish was caught, and this is the cool part for me, this is the part I really like. That's why I really pay attention when I see these tagged fish. So if a fish is caught or tagged in, let's say, January, we all know that's a pre-spawn period. The fish
Yep.
are very, very healthy. They've got egg sacs, and, you know, that's typically one of the time periods that they weigh the most. And then that fish is caught after the spawn, let's say in May or June, and, you know, obviously the length's going to be about the same, but the weight could dramatically be different
Yeah.
because the fish is spawned out and they're stressed out if it's a female, you know, and they could have dropped a significant amount of weight. So that's one of the things I like to look at. And then male fish too. You know, male fish will do the same thing. They're
That's
like
right.
a big buck. They're like a deer. You know, pre-rut, that deer, he's all bowed up
Right.
and he's muscled up, and then he kind of forgets about that during the rut, you know, or the spawning season. He runs himself down, loses a lot of weight, and gets skinny, you know. And so I think that's kind of cool too. So, you know, male fish, you know,
The information's endless.
yeah, it really is. And then some of these fish, I noticed one fish was caught like 5 miles from where it was released
Right.
a month ago. And I mean, that's cool to me.
And we've
And,
had some caught 100 yards from where it was caught 4 months ago.
Now that's really cool. Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
we won't always get locations, but all the information is at crappieforever.com. It's free to the public. Anybody can see the information, so you could track your own fish. Just
Yeah.
go in there and check on him every now and then, see
Yeah.
if he's been caught.
Yeah, that's neat.
It's always there.
And I noticed on the tags too, we've got different company names on the tags.
That's right.
So B&M's on one set of tags, Crappie Magnet, which I think is CM.
CM,
And
yeah.
then Cornfield Crappie. So is it CC on the Cornfield ones?
Cornfield fishing gear.
Is it Cornfield Fishing Gear?
Yeah.
Okay, so
CFG.
CFG.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure, yeah.
So that's pretty neat because I was actually looking at the tags this morning. We tagged one this morning,
Right.
out on Sardis, and you know, it was a 15. I think it was a 15 and a quarter inch fish.
Good fish.
Yeah, weighed like 187. But I guarantee you that fish in the spring would have been
Oh, yeah.
well over 2 pounds.
Yeah, probably
But that was pretty
225,
neat.
240.
Yeah, it was neat. I was actually looking at the tag, and I saw the Crappie Forever on it. It was a B&M tag. Had the phone number for, you know, people to call in, and, you know, I'm going to remember that.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
definitely will.
I'm going to put that tag number in my notes on my phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I caught that fish.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like now,
Yeah.
all the fish that I have tagged so far, I'm watching for them to get caught again.
Right.
And on the Ross Barnett, I can tell you, I have tagged them from the dam all the way to upriver.
Yeah.
So I can tell you for a fact on Ross Barnett, there's tagged fish from one end to the
There
upper
are,
end.
and Hayden has done the same.
Yep.
He sends me most of his locations, and they're all up and down the lake.
They're everywhere.
And more are getting put in every day. So it's another cool thing. Go try to find you one.
Yeah, they're out there.
The bounty's
I
out
get you
there.
some shirts, some
That's
money, and
Hey,
some different
how many,
things.
what's the percentage of white crappie that are tagged versus black crappie? Do we know that?
I don't know that. We would have to break that down.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
There's been a lot of black crappie caught.
I bet.
You know,
especially like Barnett.
for
or
my
somewhere.
mind, for
Right.
Mississippi,
Yeah,
there's been quite a few black crappie.
very good.
And on Barnett, I think I've probably tagged more white crappie, but I know I've tagged some blacks too, black crappie that is, or specks as a lot of us like to call them too. But
Sure.
it's just been a really fun thing to be involved with. I can't wait to see what the future holds with this deal.
Absolutely.
And hats off to B&M, Crappie Magnet, Cornfield Fishing, and Hook and Bullet, and whoever else. I mean,
Right,
there's room
yeah.
to grow this deal.
There
It's,
is
it's
room to
not
grow.
stopping.
Absolutely.
I hope other companies get involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do.
Kent said it.
You know?
We're in our infancy. This program started in November, I think. So we are just barely getting
Right.
started. We've already got people in other states that we're going to try to help get started and promote and financially support. And hopefully one day we'll get enough corporate sponsors and enough support. We can do this in even more states, just primarily on us. But we want to grow the sport. It's something cool for people to do and watch. And I cannot thank Kent for helping us out he really organized all this. And it's made a huge difference.
Well, I remember Kent called me up, and I was pulling into the Sam's parking lot, and he was asking me about it, and I said, man, it's just been phenomenal for me to be even a part of, and very proud of. And hey, the future's bright, as you must wear shades kind of deal.
That's right.
You know, it's gonna be a fun thing.
I totally agree, man. It's just, it's something new and kind of exciting that we can all kind of share together,
Yeah.
It's kind of the passion of crappie fishing, and now hopefully we're tagging some of these fish and promoting catch and release for the future, and so our kids and grandkids and everybody else have the opportunity to catch these trophy crappie.
Absolutely.
I've been blessed to catch them in Mississippi. I mean, this is a great place.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is the crappie fishing mecca, and man, what better than getting to spend a weekend, and it's kind of like duck hunting. I'm a duck hunter, and I've got a bunch of duck bands that I've accumulated over the year. And
that's right.
And it's just a talking point, and it's kind of it's like killing a Boone and Crockett deer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Catching tagged crappie is kind of the same way, and then putting it back for someone else to catch. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fun deal for sure. I know what's some other ways if people are watching and listening that they can help out Crappie Forever. Hopefully, look at that nice hoodie you got there.
Yeah, you can buy this brand new hoodie.
Yeah.
Or some Crappie Connection hoodie.
Yeah.
So we've partnered up. All the Crappie Connection gear is now on our website. You can help us get into stores. Help us grow.
Yep.
Retail is a big deal, and we need to be in more stores. Mine and Gabe's numbers on the website. Give us a call if you need something. If you want to help, either way.
You got stickers, you got hats.
We got stickers, T-shirts, hats, full apparel line. Go to the website, read about us, and go buy something. And that money will go back into fishing.
Back into crappie fishing.
Yeah, all the money goes back into
all the money
goes
back
tagging program.
Right back into crappie fishing.
That's fantastic.
We want to help support habitat programs, kids fishing rodeo things. We have big dreams. We're growing.
Yeah.
The more money we raise, the more we can put back.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys coming on today. Appreciate B&M and Crappie Magnet, and like I said, Cornfield Fishing as well, to get behind them on the corporate side of things, and all the people that's walking around wearing the Crappie Forever caps and shirts. Appreciate everybody like that as well. And hey, you see some stylish guys right here, and I look pretty good in this, and I know Daniel's the same way.
That's right.
Till next time, you got Brad Chappell here.
Kent Driscoll.
Daniel White.
Holla.
About a mile from Big Muddy River, a place I'll always remember. Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. Forever here I'll rest my soul. I can feel my worries drift